Welcome back. We're here with Jack from Summit Energy Solutions. Jack, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you, Sin?
Good. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it, and excited to dive into your business and kind of
Yeah,
like what you're building. So thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
So can you talk about for the people that don't know, and I feel like there's a lot of people that don't, what is being an energy broker, and like what do you guys do?
Yeah, basically, we take a business and we sit down with them. We look at their electric and their natural gas bill, and then we go to third-party suppliers. We basically collect all the rates from everybody that's in the market, and we find the lowest rate for that client. So basically, we just shop the market for them and present them with the best rates, essentially running an auction um, for that business to all the suppliers that are out there.
And is this a service or something that the business can do themselves, or is this something that you guys kind of offer like exclusively?
So businesses can call around, right? They can call suppliers and collect rates on their own. The only difference is when we send out rates or send out to collect rates from the suppliers, we're able to leverage all the buying power that a different brokerage firm has. So they're able to get lower rates for one, and two, they're using the specific um, usage information on that utility account. So we'll take somebody's electric bill, for example, with Toledo Edison or whatever utility they're in, and we will send that bill, we'll send their usage information from Toledo Edison to the suppliers. And then they base their price specifically off of the usage information um, that we send out to them.
So your guys' whole goal is just to shop the market and be like, hey, if you go with our company, we can help you, you know, save money on all, of those type of bills, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And in addition to that, we're not just shopping the market. That's part of it. The other thing that we try to do is time when we're um, setting those rates up. So, for example, spring and fall. There's a 3 month gap in spring and fall where we kind of see the curve dip, and so they're called the shoulders, and we try to get our clients' rates to start in those dips, right? So if you're starting your rate in July for electricity, odds are you're going to be paying more over the term of your supply contract versus if you had started that in October or say March or April. So those are two of the things we try to do with our clients. For one, just to make sure we're timing everything up, getting their rates locked in at the best possible time, and then two, finding the best rate for them.
And do you guys, as an energy broker, have a little bit of an advantage when it comes to securing better rates than they might, have the ability to do?
Yes, absolutely. And the benefit of it is we're able to go to everybody at once, and you don't have to deal with a sales rep on the phone, right? If you call a supplier, or oftentimes they call you, um, you're trying to fish through as a business owner. Okay, is this a good rate? Are they giving me their best rate? Are they giving me a promotional rate that after a month or 3 months is going to triple? We weed all that out for the business owner. So the only rates that we get back from suppliers are fixed contracts or fixed rates that, for however long the term is, are going to stay the same. And we do this at no cost. So it's not like the business is paying us, to do this process for them. Um, and the suppliers will pay us on the back end for setting up the contract. Similar to an insurance agent, if you get car insurance or something like that. Um, so really, there's no as a business owner, there's only benefit to having an energy broker or consultant help you out with um, setting up your rates.
And how do you guys differ from those salesy type of supplier people that are just, cold calling businesses all day?
Yes, yeah. So, I mean, that's a good question. The people that are calling are oftentimes from a supplier, so they're cold calling a business, trying to pitch them a better rate than what they're currently on, and a lot of times, in order to do that, they're presenting a promotional rate that is going to expire and increase within a month to 3 months. A lot of people have, been put in a bad situation where they're locked into a 1-year contract, and 11 months of those 12 are way higher than what they were paying before, and that information wasn't disclosed. So we're not trying to sell you a rate. I'm not sitting down with somebody trying to sell you a rate for a particular supplier. We're completely unbiased. I don't care what supplier has the lowest rate. Whoever has the best rate has the best rate. So we work for the business, and we represent the business to find the best supplier. We don't work for the supplier to try to sell a rate to the business. So,
And how do you balance being an entrepreneur and having a wife and a kid?
oh yeah, no, that's a good question. Just trying to manage time is as best I can. I'm able to work from home quite a bit, which helps. I have a 1-year-old. He just turned 1 last week, so it's a lot of fun spending time with him and seeing him grow up. And I've been very blessed over this last year. I've been able to be home, quite a bit, and and just kind of see him grow up, which is fun.
And before you and your wife got into a serious relationship, was there any conversation that you kind of had to have with her to lay that expectation of like, hey, I'm going to be working. This is what it's going to look like.
You mean before we got married type thing,
Just
or
in general.
just in
Like,
general?
yeah.
Um, well, yeah. When we met in college, I think we were both pretty driven people. Pretty goal oriented. So, from even when we were dating, our goals have been pretty much aligned, and what we want for our lives and our faith, everything has been, we're on the same page with everything, which helps. So we had to answer your question specifically, there have been conversations we've had about work, and how things are going to look. Before she got pregnant, um, we both did door-to-door sales, selling Dish Network. So she was doing the same thing with me, and yeah. So like I said, both been on the same page with as far as work and
Yeah.
work-life balance goes.
So she kind of knew what she was getting into, especially with her being in the sales industry. She was like, okay, I kind of expect, you to
Yes.
be working 10-hour days, door knocking, doing all that type of stuff.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. Traveling, even back when we were dating, going on work trips and traveling, and being away from home from time to time, was something that has continued, happened back then. So she's been accustomed to that. I don't think she'll ever get used to it, but expecting it at least. Yeah.
And what type of legacy does Jack Regan want to leave to the world?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I don't really have big ambitions as far as leaving a legacy to the world. It would mean more to me to have a legacy for my family. I think that taking care of my family, and at the end of my life, when if my kids and my wife can look and be proud of me, I think that that's really all that would matter to me. So
Are you proud of yourself?
um, I mean I don't know if I would word it that way. I am happy with how things have been going in my life, and I'm happy with the effort that I put into my work, and been pretty happy with the results this far, and um, I feel super blessed to have my wife and son, and feel blessed to have the business that I do. Um, so I would say I'm very thankful, um, for everything God's given me. You know I don't know if I'd say proud of myself, but I'm very, very thankful and happy with where things are at
There's
right
much
now.
more to accomplish and do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. We're just in the beginning of the journey. So But yeah, which is exciting.
I have two more questions for you.
Okay.
If you could have dinner with two people, one person from the past and one person from the present, who would it be and why?
These are good questions. Um, I mean, if we're okay from the past, I would probably say Saint Augustine. Um, I'm very into my faith. Theology is a topic of interest for sure, and I think that Saint Augustine is one of the great theological minds of the past. So I think that that would be pretty cool. Um, Present might be a name that many people have heard about. I just learned about him fairly recently, but his name's David Webb. Um, he's been a hedge fund manager his whole life, and he has some pretty interesting viewpoints on our just the financial situation of the world, and yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
What would you want to know from St. Augustine about his kind of viewpoint on faith?
Yeah, I think talking about a lot of different theological topics, things that he's written on the Eucharist. He wrote on predestination and a bunch of other topics, and a lot of times I feel like some of his writings are either misinterpreted or there's just debate around some of the things that he's talked about, and I think that it'd be cool to get clarification maybe. But he kind of wrote sometimes in a I don't know, like a poetic sense. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah. So maybe just have a real conversation and more real language on some of those things.
Yeah, I always find those going back to their time would be very interesting to see
Yes.
what they actually meant by their words, what was changed, what was taken out,
Right.
all those type of things would be very interesting.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. And I mean, they obviously, talk differently than we do today. So, I think, in our minds sometimes, oh, if I had dinner with St. Augustine, would it be in today, or would it be me going back? I think those would be two very different things. But
Yeah, for sure. I have
yeah.
one more question.
Hmm.
Why did you decide to partner with us and offer the discounts?
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's definitely a large number of people that don't utilize energy brokers to their advantage, or who aren't aware that it's something they can utilize. So I mean, I think it was just a natural fit to partner with you guys and offer some discounts just to get that awareness out that, hey, this is something that can be a benefit to your business, and we're here to support businesses around Toledo and in Ohio. So
Well, Jack, we appreciate it.
yeah.
Those are the questions I have. How can people find you? And what is one thing you want to leave people with?
People can find me on my website, summitenergysolutions.net. All contact information is on there, information about energy brokering and the process, and that's all on there. And yeah, the one thing I'll just want to leave people with is always to be open-minded. There's we can kind of get stuck in grooves or stuck in a certain way of thinking, and especially in the world we live in, things change so frequently and so fast. So just always be an open mind, and always yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, Jack, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Easton.